Bruce, what do you think of Brian Norman Jr. turning down $1.5 million? Well, first I had to look into it and see if that's actually the case. And it looks to be the case. And if that is the case, then that should be more than enough money for them to fight, in my opinion. Now, where I think the problem comes in at is simply this. I think that the Team Norman, I think they in Jaron Ennis pockets too much, you know? And I think I know why. Because they paid Jaron $3.315 million to fight David Avanesian. That's ridiculous. And they're going to end up tripping over their own feet with that. So they're overpaying him. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. You know, I'm a firm believer in that. But with that being said, they're looking at that number and they're looking at the desperation for you guys to build Jaron Boots Ennis up. And they're trying to capitalize on their position. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is a unification match, right? And if you want to build Jaron, which you know that they want to do, they should be willing to pay whatever to build him up. Now, do I think 1.5 million is enough? I think it's more than enough, but I'm not his team. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell them what's good for them or what's bad for them. You know what I'm saying? They trying to negotiate and trying to get as much out of the situation. Can't really knock that. Now, as a fight fan, I say that that's more than enough. But what they're looking at is, you know what I'm saying, the pricing. They're like, damn, if you're willing to pay him this much to fight this guy, and what did they pay David Avanesian? I think they paid him, a little bit over $500,000 to fight. So it's more than enough. The problem is they've already put out there and they already know that you want to build him up. Okay, well, in order to build him up, you need something that I have. And if you want something that I have, you're going to have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? As a fight fan, I don't agree with it. As a businessman, I understand it, you know, but overpaying Jaron Boots Ennis at this point, eventually that's going to run out and they're going to stumble over their own feet. And they're starting to stumble right now with this situation. But, you know, this is the problem with boxing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's messed up. But to a certain degree, got to take some slack off Boots Ennis' team. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there was a lot of other fights that's more than worth that. If you're willing to pay him that amount of money, then, you know what I'm saying, to me, you could have got somebody with a bigger and a better name, but you want to build him up and you want to make him an undisputed champion, and they know that. So therefore, you're going to have to bend to their game. You know what I'm saying? It's messed up, but the business of boxing has never been good. And this is the problem. This is why I don't like talking about money when it comes to sports and stuff like that. They need to keep that conversation to themselves. We want to see a fight at the end of the day. But this is what I will say. Because of the back and forth with this negotiation, there's a lot of interest in seeing the fight, more interest than he has had for any other fight. And if they're looking to build him up, they need to try to come to some kind of agreement to try to get that done. If you don't, then Boots gonna be in the same position that he's been in the whole time. The problem is Boots was built wrong. You know what I'm saying? He's been gone too long, fighting the wrong type of opponents. Now you're at the point where you're going to have to overpay and you're going to have to do this and that a little bit if you want to push him forward, because he's just been built wrong at the end of the day. So this is the result of that, you know? And if he don't get this fight, then where's he going to go from here? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be another fight that nobody really cares about. It'll be another person that they barely know. You know what I'm saying? And you looking to build him up. You can't prop him up that much and think people don't see that. Say, oh, okay, that's what y'all trying to do. Okay, well, you won't have to pay for that. They see your game, you know what I'm saying? And they trying to capitalize on it. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, it's messed up. As a boxing fan, I think it's more than enough. But as a businessman, I do understand it. But I'm not supposed to be a businessman in a sport. I just want to see a fight at the end of the day. So they need to find out some way to get it done. You know what I'm saying? If not, there's nothing left for him to do in that division. He need to go ahead and move up. They don't want to move him up. You know what I'm saying? They got a Terrence Crawford fight from what somebody told me. And They talking about they wanted to unify before they get to Crawford. Then there it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just Team Norman. It's also Team Ennis too. But at the same time, 1.5 million should be enough. But paying Jaron damn near $4 million to fight David Ashanesian, good God Almighty, I'm not mad at it. But you're not going to be able to sustain and keep that up. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman has showed you that. But we'll see what happens.